Welcome once again to our real estate talk show where we'll dig on tropical issues that have to do with real estate and investment. Today's edition, we are considering some factors that you, the buyer, the prospects need to consider before you buy into real estate. Stay tuned, hang on until we come back. My name is Jasper Obunda, a realtor, and we meet today to discuss on these topical issues that you need to consider before buying a piece of property. Ah,
Igualo Antonia.
Barrister Nanamayo Yuba. Victoria Reo.
Gabriel Olema, aka Angelo.
Realtor Esther Gabriel.
okay, gentlemen and ladies, we have viewers out there watching us, and most of them they want to buy land, they want to buy a building, but they don't know one or two things they should consider before investing their money for peace of mind. Can we, in a nutshell, help our viewers know at least one or two things they should look out for before parting with their hard-earned money in real estate?
Okay, viewers, when investing into real estate, one of the factors to consider is the purpose. You have to know your purpose for going into that real estate or buying that land or property. You have to know your purpose if it's for a residential purpose or for a commercial purpose. Maybe you want to build for yourself, like a family house, or you want to build and lease it later, or you want to use it for a commercial purpose like getting a mall, hospital, school. So you have to know your purpose of buying into that real estate. So that will help you get and make up your mind on getting a good real estate deal. Thank you.
Yes. The next thing you should consider is location. Location is key when you're talking real estate. Now, your location could be by the beach, could be in the hinterland, could be along a major expressway. It could be within a village. Depends on what you want the land for. So that will determine the location. And Nigeria has got states and a federal capital. So your location could be any of the states or the federal capital, as the case may be.
And having considered these two issues, factors, you should also now start thinking about your budget. And so your budget is also very key. And then the budget also has got a lot to do with the title of that particular location, because oftentimes the higher the title, the more expensive the land is, you know, as it were. Also, talking about titles, you have to know the titles of the properties you're about to pay for or subscribe to. This becomes very relevant because there are some people who would want to buy a property maybe in Becky, for instance, and you're asking me, I want sale of gold. Can I pay 2 million? No. Like my colleague said, the title takes the amount you're going to pay for the property. There are different titles, and I think that since you're watching the talk show, with time we'll go deeply into the different titles for properties. But I can assure you there are different titles for properties.
Okay, added to what my colleague said, you should also consider the size of the piece of land you're actually buying, because the size can also determine the price depending on the location. So you should make sure you find out the size of the plot you are paying for before you commit yourself. Most times there is usually a clash between developers and clients on that. So try to make sure you get clarified on the size before you commit yourself.
Okay, viewers, we are listening to experienced renters on what to consider before you partner your high money. Another thing also need to consider is topography of the land. If I am buying XYZ land, you need how much are you going to put there maybe to make the land good for building budgets? You need to also consider that. Is the land swampy? Is it meshy? Is it waterlogged? Or is it a dry land? Is it table land or slopy land? These are things you need to consider also before buying land. Now that takes us to the next question I want to ask the gentleman and ladies here. Now you given these three reasons why reasons uh, buyers should consider before investing use our money. Then I want to ask, based on the title, now let me give you an example. You have Ikeja area in Lagos, you have Apejo area, you have Ibeju Lekki, you have other places. Are you saying that the title of the land influences the price of the land on different locations or only on particular locations?
No, what I'm trying to say is the title of the land, no matter where the land is, influences the budget, whether in the mainland or in the island. If, for instance, you have a CFO property, CFO is what everybody knows, certificate of occupancy, verify it. You can never get a CFO land for a meager amount of money. If it's in a place like Ikeja, it is a huge amount of money. It's still a high budget. It may not be the same price, but it's not small money. It's a huge amount of money. Because with that kind of property, you know, it has reached the prime of title, C of O, certificate of occupancy. But if you get something like excision could cost less because that's the first step of title. When you're talking about property, that's the first step of title, followed by gazette. So it depends. It depends at each stage. You pay higher. That's what I mean. You can't compare whether it's in island or in mainland. It depends. The title always tells you how much that is.
Okay, location. Where would you advise someone that wants to do industrial projects to invest in Lagos of today?
I will advise anybody that wants to go into the industrial area to key into Lekki Free Trade Zone, where the Dangote refinery is. That is a major commercial area whereby we have the Lekki seaport, we have the Dangote refinery, we have a whole lot of commercial activities on that very road. So that place is where I will advise anybody that wants to make it big in a commercial activity, you should be heading to the Lekki Free Trade Zone.
Yes, in addition to that Lekki free trade zone, that's talking about Ibeju Lekki. Another area is Ekwe, you know, because Ekwe also has the free trade zone extending up to that area. However, just take note, we're using Lagos as a case study for this, you know, um, yeah, talk show. Ekwe is also part of that. Um, Infrastructure development coming up between the Ekwe and the Bejuleki axis makes it, an investor's delight. When you talk about wanting to put your money down for yield. Because, however, you have the airport coming up at Ekwe, you have the Alaro City. You have a road linking Ekwe and Bejuleki. Now, coming to the Bejuleki axis, you're going to have the seaport, Lagos State Seaport. You're going to have the international seaport. You're going to have Dangote jetties already in operation. The fertilizer company is there. The petrochemical company is there. All these are things that will give offshoots to a lot of industries and, both direct labor and indirect labor. So it's a very, very beautiful thing coming up there. So that's an investor's delight, and people with money to invest should look to that area. And even people who don't have money plan to do so. Do your investment in tranches gradually and own property in those areas that we talk about.
Talking about location and pricing. Yes, we've talked about the Lekki and all that. Yes, location has got a lot to do with the pricing of the property. But when the location is not well known, usually the pricing is not, the prices are low, as is happening in Ibejuleki right now. If you want to talk about a plot of land, 600 square meters in Ikoyi or even Lekki Phase 1 or Victoria Island, the price will be like 200 million and above. But now in Bejuleki, because this place is not, it's like developing, it's a developing area, and a lot of people don't even understand the importance of this location with all the command. It's a commercial hub of Lagos State, so the pricing is still low now because most of the projects have not taken off. So a wise investor who goes in there, and locks down a few plots of land will be making a very wise decision. So,
Okay, viewers, so far you've heard from us again, these wonderful writers here. Stay tuned as we'll be back to continue on this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of prospects are afraid to buy land, not people, afraid to buy land in some parts of Lagos for different reasons. Can we highlight some of these reasons we think is making them not to buy land, and also provide solutions to give them comfort so that they can continue buying land in Lagos to put aside?
Yes, we can. Because of this particular challenge, that's why we always advise if you want to purchase land in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, go through realtors and consultants, who are knowledgeable and well trained on the issue of land acquisition and matters. Now, however, these realtors also will deal with developers who are credible, who are trustworthy, who take pains to perfect their documents and titles, you know, and all of that. And again, these realtors will guide you on the titles that the lands carry. These titles and the subsequent steps in which to now eventually domicile those titles to your own name, and make it fully and legally yours are the things that we're going to consider. So my colleagues will take up and give us insights on one, pick up all of those things and then we'll break it out.
in other words, verification is very important. It's very key, and you need to, like my colleague said, you have to, rely on credible realtors and who work with credible developers, and make sure that you follow due diligence. In cases where you have any doubt, or there is nothing wrong in you asking to, or going an extra step with the government in Alausa, the land registry, to do necessary verification in order to be satisfied. Oftentimes you find out that by the time you go there and come back, it's also, it aligns with what the realtor has given to you. But for your own sake, for your own sanity's sake, in order to make assurance doubly sure, it's always advisable to go a step further.
Okay, I would want to chip on the mode of payment, which I feel most people are always scared about. Like in time past, while people were doing real estate business, they always want to do it in cash. But now, when you are dealing with realtors who are also working with credible developers, when you want to invest, you are always advised to make your payment in the bank, doing a bank transaction whereby you have a receipt, you have something you can rely on, like if in case of anything you have something that can trace back your payment. So that's why it's good to work with a credible realtor that will advise you on how to go about making those payments, so that you don't have issues of the transaction or just someone just standing as a witness. No, that's not enough. So I would want to say anybody that is investing in real estate today should consider working with credible realtors, credible developers who will definitely secure their investment. Thank you.
Okay, viewers, you heard that for you to have peace of mind, buying land is not what you rush into. You need to do due diligence. Make sure you are buying from the right person, from the right company, and using the right channel. Now, if you are dealing with realtors, your fears are 50% allayed, because these realtors they are trained, they are professionals, they know what to touch or not to touch. They will not lead you astray. Those who have bought land in the past and had mishap are those that bought without due diligence. They bought directly for the people that they didn't sure of. They tell the land belongs to family A, family B. You don't even know the family history. You go and buy land. After 2 days, some other person comes from that family and says the land belongs to me. Before you know it, they sell one land to 10, 20, 30 people. But when you are buying from an estate, no developer will sell one plot of land to 2, 3, 4, 5 people. It's not possible. Okay? And they're traceable. So they are credible and they know what they're doing. So this all this has come to make sure that buyers now have peace of mind. So if in the past you have fears of buying land in Lagos State due to what you've had, come back now because you will have good realtors that will lead you to the path that you buy good land and have peace of mind. Whether you are buying for investment, you are buying for you to build, or buying for farming, whatever your land needs are, these realtors here are well trained and will lead you to the right place to buy land and have peace of mind. Having said that also, there's this question that comes to mind that those in diaspora, one of their fears is sending money to the family members. In the past, family members has caused more trouble than even those that sell land. Now you don't have to sell money to your family members anymore. Buy straight and pay to the company's account. Your rate of being witness. Your family members can only go to the company and take the documents for you. If you want them to, if you want them to be involved, don't pay them the money again to pay for you because your hard earned money don't need to be thrown away easily because it's a family member. Thank you. Now, to my colleagues, I want to ask one last question. If you are to buy land, what time is the best time to buy land in Mejimeji or Ebe? What is the best time to buy land?
The best time to buy land is now.
Now. In fact, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Now.
5 years ago, actually.
In fact, the best time to buy land is before now, but this is the second best time.
Yes.
Because for
Now.
those who actually invested on land in the executive a few years back, they're already reaping the fruit of their labor. They're already reaping
The returns
value,
on their
the
investment.
returns on their investment. They're already reaping it. So this is just the next time.
Also note that the land we are looking at today and planning to pay for tomorrow. Some other persons saw the land 2 days ago and paying today.
Yes.
Why don't you be the first to pay and take that land?
Yeah.
Also, there's a margin that says go find out where the people are going to, get there before them, buy the land away for them.
Yes.
They can imagine those that bought from 2 days or 5 years ago. Now they said they are pretty comfortable now. Like my colleague said, it's not late. You can buy it now. I guarantee you, I assure you, whatever you're buying from 2 days ago now, you will get not less than 100, 200, 200% returns in 3 years' time, or even a year's time, based on the area. So, and let me also let you know that Dangote Refinery has officially opened its the fertilizer plant 3 days ago. It's now running. It's commercial now. It's running. And if that's happening there, we don't have any reason not to invest in that area. Buy lands that have title in that area now. My colleagues here, I think they will have also 1 or 2 places still available for one to buy. Call them on the numbers. Let them take you to where you buy good land that will give you good value in the near future and the long future. Till we come your way next time, thank you. God bless you. Have a nice day. And goodbye.
I'll try for this